Monday. It's almost noon, and they're not open. Blows. So I guess I'm off to Marcellus to go and buy more expensive feed, which I don't want to do, but the thing is, I could go to Auburn, which is a much greater distance away, buy a bag of feed for probably $13 or something like that, and save a couple of dollars, but then I'm spending money on gas. I think I've got a lot of bottles to take back, and that's over in Auburn, and it's really close to the feed store over there. So I believe I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna load up the truck with bottles, take them back, and you know, $10. I won't get them all, but I'll get a bunch. So I'm off. I guess so. I loaded up this truck with bottles. I mean, we haven't been probably to the Redemption Center in, I don't know, 6 months. I can't remember the last time I went, but I mean, we drink water, water. We don't drink out of the well, so we do buy water. They had 1,077 bottles. Yikes. But hey, that was over $50, you know. I was expecting 10, I don't know why, but 1,077 bottles. This girl that we go to here, it's near Auburn, New York. She's so fast. I mean, it was 10 minutes, and she had them all counted and money in my hand. So it's pretty cool. So I came over here to, you can see it, Tractor Supply, and I'm going to get my grain here, as I was talking about earlier. And awesome, all the bottles are out of the basement, which worked out for me. You know, more money than I thought. I thought it was going to be. I don't know why. I was thinking 10, $15, 50, 53 something. I can't remember. So I just bought that Blue Seal feed. Used to be $11 a bag. Thought I was going to get a deal here. $16 now. I will not come back here to Tractor Supply. That's just not cool at all. So I can buy it, which, you know, at the place I was this morning, Tyson Feeds, and it's $13. So I ended up coming to Auburn and spending more money than man. So I'm not too happy about that. Blue Seal, you got your prices too high. Just letting everybody know, Blue Seal, you're getting up there in prices. It's go and you can shop Poland grain. You're getting a 50-pound bag for $13, and there's other companies out there that sell a little cheaper, but you know. And I think that Poland grain is actually better than this Blue Seal. I've been buying it for a while. They eat it right up. I bought a bag of Blue Seal, a couple months ago, and you know, they ate it, but you could tell the difference in their when they were kind of like picking at it. And this with Poland, they just chew it right up. So it was a mistake. I had to have the bag because I need grain. I'm out. And I can't wait till tomorrow, or I would have. You know, just even though I was in Auburn, I still would have waited if I could have, if I didn't need it. You know, it's the principle sometimes. But I'll make sure I have grain anymore because I'm not coming all the way here to spend more money. It's stupid. All right. All right, catch up with you. Then right here, the other day, well, it was, oh gosh. A couple weeks ago already. In that video I did with a boulder, this chain I have so I can hook things to it. You know, I mean, it's not these aren't the biggest bucket, you know, for farm work and all that, but the thing is, they're great for a lot of things, but what I like about, well, this is what I got the chain for. So if you can't get you know, something's a little bit too big, but you want to kind of pick it up anyway, you know, you have this chain here, so you can just hook to it easily, you know. And so, but when I hook to the chain for that rock, it actually bent the chains here and there. So, I don't know if I can actually move. What I want to do is see if I can, because it made it too long. Really, it stretched it so far, bent the link. So I'm going to see if I can just put this back in. I have to actually, maybe it'll work that way. Yeah, I have to do this because you know, it was starting to hang and I didn't like that. I'm using a nut that has a nylon in it so that you don't need a washer. But it's kind of like it stretched it. So I didn't like the chain just dangling anymore. You know, I don't want to hit the hydraulics and stuff like that. I'm doing it this way. Cover the tractor with this tarp in here, just in case there's birds, any critters that get in here. Plus, it works for heating it. I put a heater under the tarp in the winter, or when it's cold, to start it. I just put the heater under the tarp and let it warm up under there, and it heats the whole tractor. There. So the chain is a little bit tighter than I want, but it still gives you room to get your hand under it. Put the link, hook up. I'll show you what I'm talking about. The chain is on the bucket. You can see Chain is on the bucket there, and so you can use a strap, which you probably do, or you can just take this chain. You can just hook it on a link, right? And just go around the item. See what I mean? You can hook it over here, and it's all hooked. So I have this chain. I mean, this is a slip one, but you should. Why is it slip link? Because, say, you wrap it around a couple times, and then this one you can just hook in here. It'll slide to where you need it to be and tighten it. So it works. And that's why I have that there. I mean, if you're wondering why I have a chain, that's why. You just, something that's too big, you can just hook it around and you're ready to go, just quick. Nothing exciting about it. You're also going to get pallet forks for the front, for the bucket, just the ones that you screw on to the bucket. I've had them on another tractor. They work pretty good. They're useful for many things. I actually used it for brush a couple of times, just moving a little closer, and worked just fine. And it's a lot cheaper than changing a whole, getting a whole new bucket. I'd love to be able to get all these things for these things, grapple. But to be honest with you, we spent the money on a cab for this tractor because of the farm. I mean, I have to use this tractor. What I'm going to do is get a blade for this, though. I don't know, either a snow blower, but I'd rather have this on here, and or that's where a quick attach bucket would come in handy. You take the bucket off and put a blade on it, a snow blade or a dozer blade, God, I'd love to have a dozer blade, but I've actually thought about an idea which I'm going to try to invent for the bucket. But for now, I just use the bucket and move the snow, and it works. You just have to watch what you're doing, because the bucket will dig into the dirt. Well, where a blade is kind of like, you might scrape some of the grass and all that with a blade, but with a bucket, you're tilting it, and it's going to go right into the dirt. And I've done that a few places around here already. So, but it does move the snow pretty good. The Johnny, man, here's the tire chains for it right here, for the John Deere. And you can put them back on, but we're talking about January already, and I just don't think I'm going to put them on anymore this year. And this works great, actually. It works great in the snow. But yeah, the cab, we're investing in that, because it's not only the winter time, but I'm having heat for it. But I do a lot of work in the winter with it, and it's cold. You've seen videos of mine where it's cold, and you just, after an hour or so, you're just frozen. You're frozen. So with a cab, you can work comfortably and do all the winter work you need to. Even doing, if I have to again in the winter, digging a grave, you have to, yes, roll the back window up to work. But you've got the heat on your back going with the heater, because the heater comes with this Curtis cab. Isn't like a little ceramic one. It's it runs off your block, from your radiator and all that. So you're getting plenty of heat from it. You're getting the engine heat. And they say that it gets pretty warm in there. So even if you're, you know, you got to turn your seat around and you got your window open and all that, and it's cold, you can still have a little, you know, you can know that you can just flop that window down and be warm for a minute, or maybe it'll be, they said pretty much, you know, you can feel that heat coming right off of there. So yeah, you know, being able to work in the winter, you know, with the tractor, that's a big thing. Plus harvest, you know, back, I was very lucky this past year, when I was harvesting the potatoes, it was always in the 60s, and but you know, we're talking about always September and October can be a tricky month. We could be in 40s, you know, and lower sometimes. You just dry weather, you just have to harvest potatoes. But guess what? I got a cab, so I can harvest. Because this, like I said, I've got is you know, we have for this bucket, we have you know, something being fabricated, which I'll show you when it gets here. That won't be till April though, but you know, it's for potato harvest. So again, this tractor, this little GC, you know, it it does a lot of work. You know, like I said, I wanted the 1526. You know, because of its size, it's a little bit bigger. But you know that just keeping this one is probably one of the better things I've done, because it actually has. If I'm going to get a bigger tractor, I might as well get one that has more horsepower than this one. That one had the same horsepower as the GC, which is fine. This one's got a, you know, a little 25 horses. You think, well, it's not enough, but it is enough. It does a lot of work. I've never had it stall. I had it stall once. I got a rock caught once, really hardcore in the rototiller, and it killed it. And from what they said, I've got to loosen up the slip clutch on that because it shouldn't kill the engine. So I've got to do that. Other than that, like I said, I'm very happy with this tractor, what it can do. You know, like 1526 would have been a nice little improvement, but you know, I watched a video of a guy who was talking just about that stuff when you're buying new equipment. You buy equipment and you have to think to the future, you know. And what he means is you got to think about what you're buying as far as horsepower goes, you know, and what you're doing in the future. Now, in the future, for us, it's more potatoes. You know, this year we're going to do 4 or 5 acres, probably, of potatoes, what have you. And these tractors, this kind of tractor here is good for this kind of, for that kind of work, for what we're doing. I mean, I'm not, you know, out west, producing, you know, thousands of acres. I'm doing, you know, and eventually we're going to do maybe between 10 and 15 acres. Now, that's getting into the, you know, that's getting the meaty stuff. That's a lot of acres. I don't think it is, but it is. So that's one of the reasons I kept this tractor, because this tractor is going to do all picking up. It's going to be able to get between the rows, and I'll be able to, you know, cultivate with it. That's why I want this tractor still. And but the next tractor we buy, then it's going to have more horsepower, and it'll just be a little bit bigger. Now they make a nice 1700 series, a Massey Ferguson does. They get up into the, you can get them between, I think 24 and up into the like 30 some odd horse. So I would go into, you know, like, I think one of them is 32 horse. And that's what you know, you want to get up in a little bit more horsepower, 30 horse, something in there. I don't really need the big 100 horsepower even. I just need that little bit bigger of a tractor, more for like plowing, you know, and that kind of thing. This year, the plow will probably be done by one of that Massey in there, the old Massey, you know, plowing up, and then, but then these tractors are going to go in and till it, you know, they'll be doing all the dragging. That John Deere, that's why I got it. Well, albeit it's only 20 horse, the 20 horse is going to be fine to, you know, pull a drag around and get the field all nice and smooth. This one's going to have rototiller on it, and guess what? This one's going to do the rototilling. So, yeah, it's going to get a lot of use, but they're definitely in its range. Put it that way, it's in its range of work. You're not killing, you know, I'm not going to kill it, but that big field out there, then it just might have to do something different. You know, cultivating, I can still do it with this thing. Just you're up and down the rows and just go along, and that's what you got to do anyway. And the John Deere is nice and tall. I'll just put the cultivators on that, and away I go. And it'll work just fine. You know, even the disc spreader. You know, the disc spreader will go on the John Deere and just hill the potatoes with it, you know, and it's nice and tall. This one was a little bit short, you know, as far as ground clearance goes. So, but the John Deere stands tall, and that's going to do that. And this one just have a cultivator on, just go up and down the rows, and you're done. I was going to get the grain in, you know, the oats into this tractor today, but it started to rain, and you know, I don't want the oats to get all wet, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. I've got a lot of potatoes to get ready for tomorrow. So anyway, it was just a chat. Thanks for watching. Yeah, we're talking about big tractor power. It really is not that big or nothing like that, but it sure does a lot of work. And anybody that owns one of these small ones like this, it doesn't have to be a Massey Ferguson, but you understand that they do a lot of work. Very happy with it. Alright, catch up with you guys. Thanks again for watching. Bye.